And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and I'm back with another video. The market in NBA 2K21 My Team is wild right now. If you guys have not really been on the game this weekend, you probably haven't seen it. So, let's talk about the market. Right off the bat, like I've discussed it a few times in a few videos and on my live stream last night, but the most MT you can make this weekend is through playing Triple Threat. Not Triple Threat Online, but Triple Threat. The vault is nerfed a little bit, so it doesn't open as often, but when it does open, like, you're almost guaranteed at least something. Like, the one token, I haven't even gotten that much. I've probably gotten it like 4 or 5 times, which is, granted, annoying every single time. Most of the time, I've been getting John Stockton, who honestly isn't worth anything, but realistically, after every game of Triple Threat, that's a free 2,000 or so MT. Even if you quick sell him, it's a free 1,500 MT. Now, that being said, you can pull Jokic, Dirk, or even Wilt Chamberlain, or Ron Harper if you need help at the point guard position from the vault. So, the market for those cards is crazy. Now, if you go over to Triple Threat Online, they do have every single glitch card up here. But from what I've seen in my own experience, like, they don't show up very often. Like, I've seen people go up the board 10, 15 times and basically see Monte or Markelle Fultz maybe a couple times, and then on the second board, see 3 tokens pretty much every time at the most, like an Isaiah Thomas or a Dino Raja. And then up at the top board, 5 tokens, all 3 boards, or Steve Nash. I haven't seen anybody that I know that's been playing this game who's gotten up to the top board multiple times, or even just a single time, has not seen any of those players. Not to say that they don't exist, but temper your expectations before you play the actual hellscape that is Triple Threat Online, because it is about as sweaty as it's ever been. I mean, there's a possibility to get a Danny Ferry or a Dark Matter DeRozan, or even on the low end, like an Opal Harden or Juan Navarro, so you're going to be dealing with a lot of speed boosting sweats pretty much every single game that you play. Now, like, the market for these cards is crashing a bit. We're seeing it. As far as, like, DeMar DeRozan, you're not really seeing his market really go down too much. I mean, you are, but at the same time, like, you're not. He's not, obviously not going to be buy it now or anything, which, that makes sense. But as far as cards that you can buy for this price, I don't think there's a better value at the 100K mark than DeMar DeRozan. If he sticks within 100 to 150K, I think he's absolutely worthwhile. Like, no question about it. He's a T-Mac clone, essentially. I'm probably going to pick him up today, later tonight, once his price drops a little bit more. There are a good amount of them up. It's not like there's not very many DeMar DeRozans up. There's, like, a pretty good amount. So people are getting them in TTO. It's just, I'm not seeing a lot of people get them. Weirdly enough, most of the people that I've seen with the worst vault, or not vault odds, but board odds, seem to be over in on PlayStation. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe because they have a larger player base than Xbox, that it's just harder to get those, you know, TTO boards to pop up. I'm not really sure. The odds are low regardless. Rondo, we've seen kind of a price drop in him. A lot of people must be picking up Rondo. You can pick him up for like 25, 30K, possibly even down to like 20K, and he's an incredibly good card for that price point as well. Like, no question. James Harden, we're not really seeing a crazy drop in his price. There's not very many James Hardens up. Granted, he is buy it now right now, so if you're a big Harden fan, I think, like, if you're a big Harden fan, he's worth 80K. If that makes sense. Like, the card itself, as far as, like, what point guards you can pick up for this price, I think you could argue that he's worth 80K, but it's kind of tougher. Dirk Nowitzki is, I'm not kidding, 20K right now. And I'd be willing to tell you right off the bat that I don't think there's very many cards in this game that have the same value as Dirk Nowitzki or Jokic for that price point. Like, they're dropping heavy from TT vaults right now. If you can play Triple Threat and you can get them for free, obviously that's more ideal than paying 20K, but if you are going to pay 20K for a card, I think Dirk Nowitzki or Jokic, because they're both going for about the same price. I think Jokic, yeah, it's about the same. I think both of them are worth that price point. I'm probably going to end up picking Jokic up at some point if I don't get him from Triple Threat before the event ends, just for my all-time Nuggets team. But I think I'll end up picking up a lot of these glitch guys. I'll probably pick up tomorrow, probably pick up Jokic. Like, realistically, it's going to cost me like less than 200K to pick both those guys up. And if I were to try to do that like 3 days ago, it would have cost me like almost 400k. So that's crazy. I wish they put is Carmelo on the boards? I don't know if he is. I don't think he is. Yeah, he's definitely not. Oh yeah, Juan Carlos Navarro. He's really cheap as well. He's not as cheap as you'd think though. You can tell just by looking at like Juan Carlos Navarro how bad those boards actually are, because there's not very many of him up, surprisingly. For as many people are playing TTO right now, it's kind of crazy. But I think for 30k, he's a very good point guard for 30k, especially for like triple threat. For triple threat, he's actually elite. He's not very good defensively, but offensively, he's nasty. Like, I'm not even kidding, nasty. And then when it comes to Wilt Chamberlain, I've seen actually a pretty good amount of people get him from the triple threat vaults. And I will say, if you're in need of a center for your team, and you have the MT to break the bank, so to speak, like, I don't think there's another center out here that's better for his price than Wilt Chamberlain. Like, I still think Wilt is the best center in this game, and I don't think it's really... I mean, you could argue Shaq or Kareem, but I actually think, like, if we're looking at overall, like, period, every aspect of their game, I think Wilt is actually the best. So, I mean, I would pick up Wilt at that point. Now I wanted to talk about some other stuff. If you're a big Shaq fan, and you don't plan on using him online or anything, picking up the Quantum or even Hero Shaq at this price that he's at right now, it's a steal. Like, this Shaq is actually still pretty good. He can't shoot, but he's good at everything else. So if you're a big Shaq fan or you're building like an all-time Lakers squad, like, it's not a bad idea just to buy this Shaq as opposed to the one that came out. The one that came out is a bit overpriced, and you can get a Shaq that does everything as well as the other one except for shoot for 60k. I think that's worth it. Plus, if you end up wanting to lock in for like Phil Jackson or Popovich at some point, picking up some of these cards right now is a good call. For whatever reason, like, Hero Dirk is buy it now, and I don't really know what that's all about. Like, I don't know. Like, he shouldn't be buy it now, in my opinion, but the market is what it is. Scottie Pippen's really cheap. He's a great 3-and-D guy. Not much to say about him, realistically. I think Kevin Durant's down in price a lot for some reason. The whole market is messed up. I might even buy Kevin Durant and lock in for this 250, but I'm not sure. Radioactive-wise, like, T-Mac really hasn't dropped too much. Like, he's Tracy McGrady. He's not going to drop a crazy amount. That's just how it is. He's going to steady be 400k. Trust me, I've considered selling him for, like, the smart move for my team would be to sell Tracy McGrady and pick up DeMar DeRozan for 150k. But it's T-Mac, dog. I can't do that to T-Mac. Like, it's just not possible. 220 for Kareem. That's actually a really good price if he stays around that. Andre Karolinko's buy it now, and if you're over on current gen, he's pretty good, but if you're over on next gen, he's actually incredible. And he's going for around 60, 70k, and I think that's actually a steal if you're over on next gen. Just a heads up. Is Giannis dropping in price? God, everything is dropping in price, and that could have a lot to do with the server issues that we've been experiencing all weekend, which, for people who are getting kicked off the game every 5 seconds, is terrible. For people who are on the game and aren't getting kicked off, it is ridiculously awesome, because you can sit here and snipe so many cards. Honestly, I'm probably going to buy Giannis at some point today. Like, realistically, like, if I can get him for 150, I'm totally buying him. Like, there's no question about it. Every card is pretty much down. I want to say Sabonis. I saw him going for like 30k yesterday, which doesn't make any sense. Like, the market is so funny. There's no reason that some of these cards should be this cheap. Like, the set that we got is very good, but I don't think cards should be that cheap. I'm going to go over the cards from the actual Warp Reality set right now. Precious Achiuwa, very good if you're building like a Heat roster. He's a very usable big man from the Heat that you can pick up for relatively cheap. Matt Bonner is a monster. Like, if you want like just an incredibly good Amethyst, either run triple threat or something. Matt Bonner is basically a 6'10 Klay Thompson. I was using him on stream last night. He is absolutely a demon. Isaac Okoro, by the way, Precious is going for about 1,500, 2,000 max. Same with Bonner, same with Okoro. So Okoro's pretty good. I would say he's up there in like the upper echelon of like Amethyst shooting guards. Like 6'6", pretty good jump shot. He does everything okay. Catch and shoot, clamps. He's got good badges. And one thing I was talking about on stream last night is when you see these large promos coming out, this is essentially 2K setting the power balancing for the next few weeks. Like, every Amethyst that comes out is going to have somewhere in the ballpark of like 15 to 20 Hoth badges. You know, every diamond that comes out is going to essentially have around 24, 26 Hoff badges. And then pink diamonds are going to have in the 30s, 32. And then opals will obviously have somewhere between like 35 to like 40 something, or 35 to like 40. And then dark matters will have like, obviously like damn near 50 at this point. So that's kind of what we expect from cards for the next few weeks. But Eddie Curry's good. If you played with Eddie Curry last year, like Eddie Curry plays pretty similarly to how he played last year. He's a little bit worse, obviously, but he's still good. He can handle the rock. As far as like budget centers, he's one of the better budget centers that we have available. He's got off range, off flexible. Like he's overall really good. If you're looking for a budget point guard, Justice Winslow is nasty. Like he's actually really, really good. You can get him for around 10K, which I think is a little overpriced for him, but he does lock in for Bobby Jones. Which Bobby Jones, by the way, I'll talk about him in a little bit. And it would cost roughly around... you have to get 9 of each of these amethysts, so probably about 10K, 10K, 10K. Let's say roughly. Let's say 15 each, so 45K, about 10K, 10K, about 75K for Bobby Jones, which I think is a pretty good price for him, but it might be a little overpriced. But Justice Winslow is a great budget guy. Simbular is a meme card for sure. That being said, he's pretty solid. He's sluggish. He doesn't really jump, but he is 7'5". His player build is stupid. Like, he should be like way bigger than he actually is, but he's like not. He looks like way too fit. Does that make sense? Like, he's a great card. 24 hops, 9 golds. Like, he's got everything you would really want from him, but his player build just bugs me. Now we got the most overhyped card in the set. Now that being said, is Bol Bol bad? No, of course not. He's Bol Bol. He's a pink diamond Bol Bol. But is he overhyped? 100%. He's nasty. Do not get me wrong. Like, he's a fun card. He's a little bit slow on his feet, but he's a fun card. 70K is not a terrible price for him. Essentially, what he was going for. He was going for like 100 last night, so I'm glad to see he came down a little bit. But look, the realistic sense is he's better than a lot of the opal like power forwards that we have. Like, is he better than like Dirk Nowitzki? The fact that Dirk's 20K, I would say Dirk is still like more. It's smarter to pick up Dirk for 20K because he like can produce at the same level Bol Bol does, but he's even like just as good of a ball handler and a little faster too. But I mean, Bol Bol 7'2". It's hard to really like go against that. His player build is ridiculous. The most slept on card in this entire set is Kyle Korver. No question. This dude was going for like 15K last night. Looks like, he's probably going for around 15K as is right now. But I cannot tell you how slept on this card is. 6'7", 99 offense, 99 defense. Like, 99 three-pointer, 95 driving dunk, 86 ball handle is honestly fine. 92 pass accuracy, 85 steal with a 93 perimeter defense, and he's got a bunch of Hoff defensive badges, 93 97 vertical, 94 lateral quickness. Like, Kyle Korver is a menace, dude. Clamps, Intimidator, he's got like a bunch of defensive badges. He has Hoff Showtime. He has Showtime dunks. He booms super hard. He can dribble. He can shoot. Like, this card is next level. And the fact that the set was so good is why people aren't really talking about Kyle Korver, but like, bro, Hot Sauce goes hard, man. This card is fun. Like, he's just fun. And then the meme god himself, Alex Caruso, which, like, it's a bald white guy that dunks real hard. I'm going to pick him up because he's funny. But, I mean, as far as, like, is he really that great? I don't necessarily think he's that much better than Justice Winslow, if he even is, if I'm being honest. I think Justice Winslow might actually be a little bit better because of his player build, but Caruso's fine. Kyle Kuzma is a very good value. I've seen a lot of hype on Kyle Kuzma, and I think seems very good. I haven't played with him or picked him up yet. He seems like an incredibly good card. If you're in need of a wing for pretty solid budget, I think you could do a lot worse than picking up Kyle Kuzma. He seems like very usable in the short term. Rudy. My boy's nasty. Like, Rudy Gay goes incredibly hard. He's my starting small forward for a reason. Like, if you think about leap year Rudy Gay last year, that's essentially what this card is. He's basically the leap year Rudy Gay from last year. I picked him up for a multitude of reasons. A, I'm a huge Rudy Gay fan. He fits well in my lineup. And B, we are probably getting Spotlight Sims next season, and having that extra Memphis guy is going to be key. So that's part of the reason I picked it up. Like, picking up Kuzma and Caruso, like, there's plenty of Lakers players that you can use. But as far as, like, Memphis, we don't have a strong roster, which is why I picked up Rudy Gay in the first place. Penny Hardaway is basically point guard Brandon Ingram, and for his price and what he's going for, by the way, Rudy Gay is going for about $75K or so. Penny Hardaway got a lot of hype last night because people used him and realized that he's actually pretty good. So his price has risen a bit. He's probably going for like 80 or 90K today. But no joke, he's really, really good. He's got that Brandon Ingram jump shot, and I really like that with a 96 three-point shot, 95 driving dunk. 88 ball handle isn't great, but it's not bad. 98 pass accuracy, 96 speed. He's even got good rebounding stats and perimeter defense. Good tendencies. Like, Penny actually, I personally think, like, necessarily is he better than Quantum Luka? Stats and badges wise, yes. Depends how you feel about Brandon Ingram's jump shot. But Penny's not a joke. Like, he can lock down, defend. He can basically post spin people to death, and like, if you like playing in the post with your point guard, like, Penny Hardaway is a great affordable option in which to do so. Like, he's great, man. I'm actually surprised by how good this card is. The one thing I will say though is he doesn't have flexible, so that's kind of an he does, he has gold flexible, sorry. That's kind of an issue, and if you do want to badge him up, like giving him defensive leader, like rim protector to defend against like a Ben Simmons type would be a good idea. Deep hooks, obviously, if you're on next gen blinders, works. Ben Simmons. Is Ben Simmons good? Yeah, absolutely. For sure. I mean, obviously, he's a Ben Simmons that shoots threes. Is he worth 1 million MT? No. Absolutely not. Like, 0% is he worth. So I had to yell right there because it's just frustrating, man. He's not worth this price. There's no question about it. Like, he's not. And right now, if you had, let's say, like 10 million MT and you were like, well, I mean, what's 10% of that to buy Ben Simmons? Yeah, okay, I feel you on that. But look, dude, for the rest of the season, like, we're going to get a new LeBron that's going to play point guard. We're going to get a point guard Giannis at some point. We're going to get more big point guards. This is the beginning of the big point guard wave. Might not happen next week, but it'll happen in the weeks prior. Just take that into consideration before you spend a million MT on Ben Simmons. That's all I got to say about that. Shaq Diesel. Shaq Diesel's price is like way too high because it's a 3-point shooting Shaq, which is fun, but is he worth 400K when Wilt Chamberlain is 200? Absolutely not. I would go Wilt all day. And my man Chef Curry. Is he worth 300K? No. He's basically Opal Rondo with a little bit better badge count, and arguably, I don't think even a better jump shot. I like Rondo's a little bit better, but I don't think he's necessarily worth it. On current gen, potentially. On next gen, definitely not. That's basically it. In relation to that, we have a bunch of locker codes. So if you guys haven't put in it, we got like 8 locker codes yesterday. None of them are like incredibly good, but they're solid enough. And if you guys haven't put any of those locker codes in, like, comment down below and I'll actually comment all the locker codes that we got last night for you underneath your comment. So just let me know if you haven't put any of them in. Nothing too crazy, but there's free packs, there's free MT, there's free tokens. Like, it's pretty solid, so it is what it is. And limited. There are packs in limited. I had someone ask me if grinding for those packs was really worth it, and I would say no. Like, I don't think so. Like, it's just a bunch of flash packs, and you know how the 2K reward packs go. Like, they're not really the greatest odds in the world, which isn't that bad. Free packs are free packs, but even though the boards are sterilized and you don't really get that many of the cards through playing TTO, I would focus your time on playing Triple Threat Online and Triple Threat Offline to stack opals and MT and stuff like that. Like, even if you start stacking multiple Ron Harpers or multiple John Stocktons, you could use them for a future exchange or, you know, whatever. I think we do get a Dark Matter exchange card next season, so it's probably not a bad idea to stockpile like some opal rewards cards to exchange for it. That would be my suggestion on the matter. So anyways, guys, it has been your boy Cheap Ludes. I hope my market tips have helped you in any way, shape, or form. One other thing, if you have any steady shooter badges, sell them because they're going through the roof. Because I believe Ben Simmons doesn't have blinders. So one of the high tier cards doesn't have blinders. I can't remember which one it was, but it doesn't matter. The price is through the roof on steady. Like, let me take a look. Flexible's pretty normal. Like, none of the other badges really went up in price. but steady shooter is way up. Gold steady's not really up too much, but when it comes to like bronze and silver steady, like bronze steady, you can get 20 something K for this badge right now. And obviously if you're on next gen, it's blinders, but I don't think it's worth putting it on a card. I think it's worth selling it for 30K. That's my opinion on it. If you have bronze or silver, definitely sell those. So as always, it has been your boy Cheap Ludes. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I will have the squad tip series later. I got to go run some errands and stuff, so I don't have time to do it right now. But I will do it later tonight. And if you guys are down, I may stream tonight as well. So I'll post a community post, so let me know. Peace.